Well, hello.
Hello,
Now,
everybody. Welcome.
to answer Jamie's question right off the bat, because I had an answer right away, and I checked to make sure that I was correct, and I am correct, because I usually am. Hello, Nicole. Nice to see you again.
Hey,
your
Nicole.
Link art is beautiful. I love the big one with Link. That's my favorite. But
my
your
gosh,
background
so
work is really
incredible.
nice too. But Jamie's question, my first thought, and this might be a weird one, you might think it's weird. The first thought is mistletoe. Now, why is it mistletoe? Mistletoe is an incredibly, horrifically parasitic plant on other trees. We're talking on like black spruce, we're talking on a bunch of stuff. Yeah, there you go, it's mistletoe. It's got thorns, and, it's a whole thing. Literally, very vine, like that sort of thing. All that sort of stuff. Exactly my first thought. You're like, disease going through Mother Tree of Dry. I'm like, mistletoe right there, let's go. That's really what it is. Mistletoe's the vibe there. So, glad I could help. That one was an easy one. I'm always happy for
Came to the right place.
plant symbolism or assistance, because even though I might not know it right away, I'm definitely very, very good at looking it up. But this one I knew. This one was like, yeah, mistletoe. Oh, well, you're known for the edgy shit, Jamie. You like giving your characters edgy backstories.
Ori can do the research.
I got them plants down. But hello, everyone. Welcome,
Hello,
welcome.
everyone.
In this late evening stream that we do. Let me turn Mars's volume up a little bit and turn this music down. Yeah, we have the
good.
spooky
Now everyone
music.
can hear me hiccup.
Well, such is life. We have the spooky music, so because it's spoopy season, and Mars is doing her work. We have to make sure that she finishes her work tonight. It's very
I am
important.
actually doing it. I am hiccuping and screwing
She's
up
doing
as
it right
I'm doing it, which pisses me off, but I'm doing it.
This is a new character, Colette. Oh, that's a very nice name.
Ooh.
For what kind of campaign,
name.
Jamie? Is it D&D? Is it Pathfinder? Is it Harry Potter again?
You gotta give us
what is
deets.
it? You gotta give us them deets. But, yeah. So anyone new? I know Nicole was here for the last one, which was the most structured of our comic corners by far.
Yeah, they are definitely not all like that.
They are usually not like that. They are almost never like that.
That was a rarity.
We still highly say, if you ever have a question, just ask it. That's the driving force of Comic Corners, is chilling and chatting.
To basically create discussion. Because we want to talk
try
about
to have
our
a
comic.
little bit of a topic, but I can only do so much. Another Harry Potter campaign. Oh my god, Jamie, you and your Harry Potter campaigns.
You guys
man.
got a theme going.
You love them Harry Potter campaigns. Them Hogwarts campaigns.
Fudge.
Mars is dying, guys. This is the end.
No, you know what pisses me off is I had hiccups at school today. Luckily, I did not have them during a session with a client, but I had them during class. So I started hiccuping in the middle of class, and like, you need to volunteer, so I'm like trying to answer questions and hiccuping at the same time. And driving home and eating dinner, like, they were gone. I was fine. I was living like Larry. It was beautiful.
Ooh.
I take one sip of tea, and now they come back.
Your diaphragm is dying, fam.
It really is a dying fram. It is very much a dying
There's definitely
fram.
no need to catch up, Nicole, but you're very welcome to. We appreciate watching any of the VODs. Again, a lot of them are much more chaotic than other ones.
Please feel free.
And a lot of them are much
I will
randomer
say,
than
Nicole,
other ones.
Don't watch the very old ones. We had no idea what the hell we were doing back then.
Jamie, it works. If you're here for it, you're obviously here for it, so it's worth it. I mean, I know I specifically got out of campaigns because I didn't enjoy how the DMing was going. So, you find one you like, I date him, so it works out. Like, mine are free because I date him. I find the DM I like, and then you win. That's how it works. It's the math.
Step 1, find DM. Step 2, step 3, profit.
Exactly. There you go. Oh, well, that's terrible, Jamie, and that is incredibly edgy. Well, dang.
Oh my.
Nuts. I'm glad you're here for the chaos, Nicole. You're right at home, then. You're right at home with everything. I wanted to say, person also, Nicole, the Ferrex art, top tier. I actually literally screamed right out, like, Mars, Dylan, and I were on, like, on our Discord call still after stream ended.
Actually incredible.
And I, like, opened the Discord, and I, like, to look at the picture, and I literally screamed out loud. Mars gonna test. So happy, so great.
Very beautiful.
So excited. I feel like we've made it at this point, you know? I feel like
at once you have fan art, you've made it somehow.
Fan art that has no sort of, like, incentive, right? Because there was a lot of fan art, but that was specifically from, like, Art Fight. Or, like, I won, a draw this in your style, so it was, like, a prize, you know, this sort of thing. But, or it was a secret Santa trade. But it was like, no, people just like the stream or like the comic, and it's like, oh, magic.
Yay!
Amazing. Fantastic. Level, you know, content creator level up, man.
Achievement unlocked.
Indeed,
very much so.
But, talking about art and stuff, today
what a transition, Ori.
Yeah, I know, we're just great at those. We're so smooth, so silky smooth.
Like butter.
Smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover. And so what we're going to talk about is Voltron. Now, we're not talking about the story of Voltron. I am not a writer. I am also not the writer of Outcast. So the Voltron story, there's a little tiny bit I could mention of just, like, tropes that I like. One of them is in Voltron.
I like this.
And so it definitely inspired what kind of story I wanted Mars to write, but it's definitely not, like, the writing is not why I'm talking about today. I am the artist of Outcast, so I am talking about the art of Voltron.
So, when Ori says the story of Voltron, she's specifically referring to the trope, two people who are obviously together but never get together in canon.
Well, that's not what I'm talking about that I like. The one trope that I do like for Voltron is five-man band. That is very present in Outcast.
Oh, that is classic.
The five-man band is top tier. And also, well, that's more of a character design thing. But the five-man band that's what Voltron is, that always was and always will be, and Outcast definitely has that going for it, and I like the five-man band, you know, obviously not...
doesn't? It's such a classic.
It's classic as long as it's done not shoving people into boxes, you know? That's it. If you're not trying to shove them into the five-man band list fully clean and cut, then, you know, we're great and we're happy and everything's good. Beyond that, then it can get a little dicey.
As long as they're more than just stereotypes.
Exactly. Which our characters certainly are.
Is neither here nor there.
But what we can talk about with Outcast and Voltron is how
Could somebody scare me, please?
All right. I'll set something up.
Thank you. I'm really sick of hiccuping and nothing is working. I want to cry.
All right. Well. Yeah, so Voltron. So Voltron is one of those, kind of, I would say, the start because after Avatar: The Last Airbender, that was you know, an older show. That was sort of the very beginning of sort of like Western anime style sort of like animation, right? Because otherwise, when you talk about Western animation,
and Teen Titans, I would say
Teen Titans is getting there.
Teen Titans.
See, Teen Titans, I still think fits pretty decently. I guess maybe not. Yeah, so the original Teen Titans and Avatar, those are like very early ones and very beginning of like, these are definitely anime inspired shows, but they're still Western, right? They're not full-on anime style, and obviously they're Western made cartoons, so that's how it works. But then as you get, you know, there's a big gap in between that point in time when you have very classically much more what I would consider Western cartoons like Adventure Time and Steven Universe and, you know, Gravity Falls. You know, those are very stylized. Hello, Oscar. Good evening. In a very specific, very simplified way, right? And you even get that in like the Owl House and Amphibia and, you know, really almost anything from that, you know, era, like Big City Green, Craig of the Creek, you know, you could list on and on, even Clarence. You know, they're very, Over the Garden Wall, very stylized, very simplified characters, right? Usually big eyes, very round faces, very, you know...
I think simplified is the word, but there's always one defining feature.
Yeah.
Or a couple.
You know, and so that's what I think a lot of people think of when you think of, like, serialized Western animation. Otherwise, you talk about, like, Disney, that's a separate thing, you know, Pixar, you know, these are sort of separate things. DreamWorks, all those sort of stuff. But there's still, you know, kind of, you got that Disney style, and then you have, like, the serialized Western animation style. And then you get to what I would say Voltron is sort of the first for this, like, second wave of animation that we're seeing a lot in this sort of style that leans what I would consider somewhere in between Western comic book style and anime, right? Because when you think about it, when you look at, like, Western comics, they have very angular faces, you know, usually with flatter chins, not pointed chins like a lot of anime characters have. You know, they don't have the really massive big eyes, but they definitely have pretty stylized eyes, but they're not round circles like you see a lot in Western animation and you know, usually, and things like that. And that you can see sort of carry through into shows like Vox Machina and Invincible and My Adventures with Superman and all these newer shows coming out, leaning into this sort of what I would consider like the Western anime style, right? It's not anime, because honestly the eyes proportions is definitely not what anime is, and there's definitely a lot of differences there. The hair is usually not as detailed and all this sort of stuff, but
you can definitely see the through lines.
Yeah, you can definitely see that this is a generation of people and artists who were inspired by anime and want to have that in their Western superhero comics, right? It does have thorns, Jamie. The young ones do. It depends on the type. But the young ones do. It does depend, though.
Oh. Don't question Ori's plant logic.
I specifically looked that up. It does depend on which one. Some of them do have thorns. But otherwise, viney and thorns... not the ones you're seeing. Yeah, maybe not. But the young ones do have thorns. Otherwise, viney and thorns. You got kind of rose. Multifloral rose isn't viney, but it is invasive. Got a kitty delivery?
I got a kitty delivery. Apparently, she was too noisy for my dad, so now she got dumped in here. Poor thing.
You could definitely do that, Jamie. But so with that, I find that Voltron and then the artists that, you know, definitely took Voltron and made tons and tons of fan art of it. I talked about this with Gravity Falls. Were definitely sort of very inspiring to me to want to do art and want to, I mean, you do you, Jamie, don't... I just, mistletoe in my heart is the one, you know, oh, I just realized my door is open. Hold on one second.
You pick what's good for you.
Really loud. Oh, Raid, hello. We're raiding?
Oh, hello, Raid.
Did it happen? Hello, welcome, Tradosio. If that is how you like it. We're talking about comics and art and stuff. I know you guys came from probably Cinder,
you're coming from Cinder. Oh, nice.
Words that I can't remember. You know, brain words. Very big brain words. It's late.
It is.
It is definitely late, guys. But thank you. Welcome.
I don't know the actually meme. Is it like, actually?
Actually. You have to, like, push up your glasses. I don't know.
Oh. But... I don't know if I could do that right now, but...
But, what I think was most important to me, and when I sort of think back, is that I could take Voltron characters, and they were close enough to the style that I
Hey,
want
how's
to...
it going, Mars? I heard you had the hiccups. What's up?
Hi, good to see you. Also, didn't scare me, but hopefully it got rid of the hiccups.
It scared me.
Wait a minute. That's not how it was supposed to work. I was supposed to scare you.
Nope.
Oh, Mars, how dare you?
It worked on Ori though.
Oh, God.
All right. Sorry about that.
The problem
It's
is
okay.
I hear the little like Discord do, so I know.
I knew you
don't.
were gonna hear something.
See, I
Gosh,
don't.
darn it.
I know he's coming.
When I have
knew.
when I have streamer mode on, I don't hear it. Yeah, well, Jamie, no more hiccups for you, I guess, or me.
All right. Well, as long as I scared as I scared somebody.
You scared
Maybe
me
if
and
I
Jamie
laugh
at
hard
very
enough
least.
and take in enough air, they'll go away.
What are you guys up to right now? What are you doing?
We're
We're talking about Voltron
Yeah,
and
we
how it
have-
inspired Ori as an artist.
Exactly.
You gonna report me? You're gonna report me, Oscar? You listen, Oscar. You're
I'm
not
glad
powerful
you'd
enough
like
to report me.
introduce
You're not powerful enough. You can't handle me.
you.
You're gonna report me? My God, you'd have to. It'll take you so long to write that report.
Wait a sec, you don't think Oscar is powerful enough? He's Cthulhu.
Ooh.
We've
Baby
had
Cthulhu.
conversations. Listen,
Little
I've admit. Listen, we all know. Okay, Cthulhu is. Guys, I'm gonna. Don't tell. Okay, we don't need to make anybody that's Cthulhu feel bad. But I will say that of all the eldritch forces out there, the one that's sleeping at the bottom of the ocean is not the one to be afraid of. It's asleep. It's a sleepy guy. It's a sleepy head. He's sleepy.
But
guy?
it's the
He's sleeping
moment
in.
when it wakes up. You never know.
Yeah, but what
Yes.
about the ones that are just awake and already we know they're awake. They're doing it. They're moving it. They're grooving it.
They're going. They're grooving.
Yeah.
Well, what have they been up to?
Oh my goodness. So many things.
I missed the memo.
Yeah, they
I
did.
don't know what they're doing.
They changed it. They did a lot of reality changing.
Oh, well, crap.
Yeah, I think the last thing that they did was that they changed the reality around a little bit. So now there was a North America and a South America.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty big change. Don't know how that got past my radar.
Yeah. Sorry I couldn't scare you. Do you still have the hiccups?
Yeah, I do, but they'll go away.
All right. Anyway, I just wanted to say hi. I'll leave now though. I'll leave now. Though.
You don't have
We
to if you don't
appreciate
want
you,
to, but
Cinder.
welcome.
No, I'll leave now. I'll leave now. I'll leave now.
Oh, thank you for
Pop
the
in
follow,
whenever you
Bildow.
want.
Indeed.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Laters.
So it was originally, Nicole. So in earlier days, what was it? 80s anime? I don't even remember. Voltron original release date. When did it come out? 80s, yeah. So the original Voltron was an anime, and it was an 80s anime. So it had the very 80s style and everything like that. You know, it very much looked in that sort of thing genre. But then the new one came out, and that was made by DreamWorks, right? I'm remembering that correctly.
It
was made by
was, yes.
DreamWorks. So it definitely leaned more into that, like, El Dorado, you know, Prince of Egypt sort of, like, animation style that lended it towards
I feel like
this
you
sort
could
of...
see the El Dorado vibes.
Yeah,
in it.
very, very many El Dorado vibes in it. Let's get a cast image up here. Open image in new tab. Of course, it's zoomed way out because that's how the internet works. There it is. So
All
you could
the
definitely
amazing
see
characters.
the sort of like through line of sort of kind of anime, but it's not full hard anime with like the proportions and everything like that, and the detailed hair. Right? I find anime has a lot more like hair pieces usually.
Oh, it
just
it
mathematically.
definitely does.
And so this is definitely chunkier hair, I guess. It definitely has the vague anime style eyes, but not necessarily anime proportioned eyes, right? A little different in the middle. And the other thing that I really took a lot of inspiration for Voltron, that I really liked personally, and Voltron just kind of solidified, is the color language. Every character here is a color, okay? They keep that throughout the whole time until, like, some shenanigans happen, but I'm not going to get into that. Doesn't matter.
It is very plot relevant.
They're
which is
color-coded
interesting.
90% of the time. And then they sort of fuck up the colors. But, you know, welcome, Mr. Deha Main. Thank you.
Ah, hello.
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you so much.
But
I am appreciative. I'm having trouble articulating it tonight.
Mars has the hiccups this evening. But yeah, so you can see from the left you have Shiro he's got the color black. We have Keith, he's got the color red. Lance has the color blue. Pidge has the color green, and then Hunk has the color yellow. And you can notice that in our characters as well, and I did specifically design them that way, giving them each a color. Ferrex is green, and as you can see, I fill them in with a color when I go to color them. Hotsun is actually purple, and that's sort of a different thing. He's not orange. Sinnit is orange, and then Milano's red, Aster's yellow, Ferrex is green, and then, yes, Oscar, and then Everett, who we haven't really met yet, is blue. And so they all have...
Hey, Mars! Hey, Mars! Did I scare you this time? Because I stayed in the room.
It didn't
I stayed
scare
here.
me. Sorry.
I stayed here, so I stayed here so you wouldn't hear the boop.
I
It didn't work?
appreciate the effort, though.
I just want to make you happy, Mars.
I know, and I appreciate your efforts.
All right, well, I'll talk to you guys later.
There
then.
you got Deha main.
Oh,
Cinder, so you
there
really
you
scared
go.
someone.
All right, good.
Your
As long as
count
I'm
is
bringing,
racking up, Cinder.
As long as I'm bringing fear to someone, I'm happy. All
Someone.
right.
It's
See
spooky
you.
season.
Bye. Bye. Love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. But, okay, hopefully the scares are done there, otherwise it's gonna get me.
Already got you.
Oh, 100%, Nicole. Exactly. Very much so. And I try to do that a little bit in the silhouette, but I'm definitely more in, like, the facial features, and that's where it sort of comes together in the middle, right?
It's like that happy balance.
That my caricature looks like an Avatar The Last Airbender character. I mean, we just talked about how it's kind of the styles. So no one has specifically
would
said
make
that, but I
sense.
appreciate that comparison, completely. Again, the style is definitely influenced by Avatar The Last Airbender, but I actually found Avatar The Last Airbender very late in my life of consuming media, animated media specifically. No worries, Trodosio. But yes, I do. No one has specifically said that, but I do appreciate it because they're definitely all related. Throw a rocket. I can't send Dylan to throw a rocket at Mars's window. He lives much further away from her than I do.
Don't break my windows, you guys.
No, just to startle you. Just a little Marceline-esque
Just send
scare.
me some jump scares or something.
Am I doing it good, Trodosio, or am I doing it bad? Because I'll continue to say it this way unless you correct me. But if you correct me, I will do it that. Oh, correct. Look at me. Top tier.
You just got it,
Beautiful.
Ori.
I'm just epic. I'm decent with the names. Honestly, the only one I think I really just couldn't do was Nicole's because I just don't know what the Korean characters mean.
Well, that to quote Dylan, that sounds like a skill issue.
I'm a sad American that knows one language, and it's really sad. Yeah. No, see, Jamie. Yeah, I do pretty good. That's my superpower is nailing the names correctly. Use lime juice. Oscar is saying, Mars. Drink lime juice.
Lime juice. I tried a spoonful of honey, which usually works.
Have you done the hold your breath thing?
Oh, that never works for me. Trust me,
I don't know
tried.
why.
It never works.
I don't know
I'm
why
pretty
New Yorker
sure that is a myth.
makes me worse than anywhere else in America. Because I actually feel like being a New Yorker, I know a lot more, like, at least closer to languages. I at least know a little bit of a lot more languages, and I definitely understand a lot more accents better than
I feel like
apparently
New York
a lot of people.
too, like, it puts you right in the center of things, does it not?
I definitely find that I can understand people with thicker accents, like any accent from literally anywhere in the world, a lot easier than people from places that are a lot less culturally diverse, which is not something I always think about, but then I go to, like, essentially I went to like a restaurant and the waitress had a very like a thick Asian accent and no issues, no problems. And then my grandmother, who has lived in England originally and has lived the majority of her life now in North Carolina, was like, no idea what the woman was saying. And it was just like, and she has a hearing aid in, so it's not like she was like deaf or something like that. It was just wild. Almost as bad as being from Florida. Oh, Jamie, you're from Ohio. I don't know if you could be spitting like this. I'm just saying. I don't know if you could be spitting these sort of things. New York is almost as bad as Florida. I don't know. I'm starting to take this personally.
Really?
I'm starting to take this personally.
Guys, I've been watching the news regarding Florida. I don't know if we're as bad as Florida.
Tree, cloud, and video. I mean, works for me, Dradosio. You've accepted that? Okay. At least you've accepted your fate and your terribleness. But,
okay. Well, that does make it.
I guess that makes it better, you know? I see. We're almost as bad. Okay. A little less bad. But now the question is, where do you rank New Jersey? You know?
Yeah. Once you rank one, you gotta rank them all.
Oh, you're from Brazil, Mr. Deha? Very nice. We knew another person in Cinder's chat that was also from Brazil. You don't speak about New Jersey. Don't mess with it. Texas is just such a large place. You know, Texas is one of those places that is just massive. It's like California. You know, like technically it's just there's a lot of space in both those states that people can physically live in. So it's hard to kind of exactly nail it down. Versus with New York, you get like southern state and northern state, and that's about it. Those are the two. They're pretty different, if I'm being honest. You pass like Westchester County and then it's like a whole different ball game, and the closer you get to Canada, the more redneck and south it is, which is really weird, but it's true.
Oh, it is bizarre.
Yeah, that's definitely rough, Tradosia. The job I used to work at, we went to like essentially a summit, and we had representatives from all over the country, so a fair amount of people actually from Texas. And my brain just died. Where was I going with this?
No.
Oh, yeah, they talked about how the area that they covered, because there's different offices in different areas, the area that they had to cover to be multiple offices in like the same unit was like hours and hours away, versus the 3 offices in our unit are like 20 minutes from each other. It was very funny, very different. There you go, Oscar. You've been looking... Tur-W? I don't know what Turwa means. Mars, do you know what Turwa means? I don't know. What is true? Turn?
I
don't know how to write the word. I'm not sure what word it is.
You've been looking through your games?
Through your... Yeah, is that what we're doing? Through? Ah, okay.
Oh, okay.
It's so funny that I've never even, like, I wouldn't even sound that word that way. There's an E in my brain every time.
I will one day receive so many writing samples from my clients. I have to get good at
you're getting there,
what
Mars.
they are
this
intending
is practice.
To say.
This is
good practice.
Flatland. Yeah, that's why I was surprised how many arborists there were in Texas, because I didn't think there was that many trees, but I was proved wrong. There was a lot of Texas arborists.
Hey, you know what? More trees than you thought. Never a bad thing.
More trees than I thought, indeed. Yeah, but also through is a horrible English word. I hate it.
Oh yeah.
So he's not a cat boy. He's a fossa. It's a fossa.
Or
you
a
wanna say it.
fossa if you
Yeah.
pronounce it that way.
It's spelled fossa. You can say it fossa. This is our boy.
They're the creatures, if you watch the movie Madagascar,
Mm-hmm.
they were the creatures that kept trying to eat more.
Yes, they eat lemurs. That's like their big thing.
Yes,
They're lemur eaters. But they're more weasel. They're more weasel than anything else. Honestly, to me, the biggest trait he's got that screams fossa is his feet. His feet are like direct paw, like whole things of like the fossa. So I love weasels too. They're great. Mars actually plays a Pathfinder character that has a little ferret familiar, and it's really cute.
So cute.
Sinnit is called a bamboo shark or a walking shark. They're very small, but they're the best shape of shark.
They are
Carcharhinidae.
wonderful.
Carcharhinidae. That's the best shape of shark family. The long boys. We need long boy sharks. I hate the great white shark shape. It's sad. They're violent little creatures. That's one of the reasons why I watch them through the video lens. You know, we actually know someone who has 2 ferrets. But yeah.
You might.
No, you do. We play tabletop with him. His partner has 2 ferrets, Mars.
Oh, that's right.
They just moved in recently.
Yes, the problem is I don't interact with that person enough, so.
Yeah, but Mars, I only interact with him as much as you do.
No,
Yes,
not
they definitely
him,
are.
her.
Oh, yeah.
I don't associate the ferrets with him.
Oh,
I would
well,
associate
they're a
them with
unit
her
now.
for some
They're
reason.
a unit now.
Okay, I will update my brain.
Update your brain, indeed.
That's what it's called now.
Yeah, is what it's called. But, yeah, so what was most interesting, I think, about Voltron being such an inspiration and really helped me with my art was the fact that since it was so close to the style I was already trying to emulate from other, artists I enjoyed, it was easy to recreate in my quote-unquote style at the time without directly copying the images of, directly copying the Voltron characters. I could look at them and interpret them in a way that was closer to how I wanted to try and draw. And so that allowed me to sort of have this, like, oh, look, I'm actually getting better at drawing. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the hardest things I ever found was to try and draw characters that were in this very incredibly simplified Western style. Say, like Finn from Adventure Time, Dipper and Mabel from Gravity Falls, all these sort of things in the style that I wanted to my art to be in, right? They're very different, and that's a big skill. So one of my favorite things I've ever done, my very, very happy art moment, was when I actually drew Randy Cunningham this year in January and was like, yes, this character that's in a very classic, exaggerated but simplified Western art style, I made into my style. And that was a big crowning achievement of mine. But without Voltron, I think I would have been very discouraged. But it can also be very interesting because then I tried to draw Scanlan from Vox Machina, and that was actually very difficult because the eyes were a very specific way. So to try and make it so that the eyes were my style of eyes, but still were Scanlan Shorthalt was definitely a challenge. But I did get there, so it was very fun. All right, let's talk. Deha is talking about their concept. Ooh. Opposite characters, yin and yang stuff going on.
That's
Very
always
cool.
fun.
That would be a fun party dynamic. Doing the journey of until they ascend into godhood. Ooh, interesting.
Oh.
Oh, okay. You're taking inspiration from a game. Very nice, very nice.
Really like this.
I just rubbed my eye and got my glasses horrendously dirty and disgusting.
The worst.
The worst indeed. Alright, we're back. We're managing it. Oh no, out of Oreos? Man, I was craving chocolate today. Real hard. Real tough.
My family just bought the Halloween candy. And it's so sad because the Halloween candy we bought is like all the miniatures, so you have to eat like
oh no
20 of them in order
Hate
to feel
that. Terrible.
full. As
bad.
like, oh wow, we are getting egged for sure this year. But
Have
doesn't
you ever
stop me
actually
from
gotten
swiping the
egged?
chocolate. No, we've never actually
That's
gotten
it.
egg. That's just the joke. I don't think anyone here actually does any egging.
I've
least
seen.
no one
I
in my
saw
neighborhood
TP
does.
once. I saw TP once by me. Never
I've
at
definitely
me.
seen TP around the neighborhood, but not like at us.
Well, nobody comes to my house for Halloween.
But why?
Because we're at the end of the road before the main road, so nobody comes to my. Nobody wants to traverse the big gap of the baseball fields and come see us.
It's too dangerous.
It's so sad.
The kids can't cross the roads.
It's so sad.
Achoo!
Bless
Achoo!
you. Bless you. Make the hiccups
Achoo!
stop. Bless you.
I'm trying.
Well, I'm saying the sneezes will do it.
I'm just dying apparently.
It's interesting to dose you, but you know, do what works. You do what works.
Yep. And do what
I
you
like salt. Salt is my favorite flavor, if I'm being honest. Salt and lemon. Very good choices there. Nicole says, bless you, Mars.
Oh, thank you, Nicole. I'm sorry. I'm not looking at chat because I'm trying to get the
That's
entry
why
done.
I'm interpreting. Yes, Mars, I have a whip to Mars. I have a gun to Mars's head. She has to finish this tonight. It's very important.
She
Otherwise,
has a
the
gun
comic's
to
gonna
my
be
head while I'm
behind.
hiccuping and sneezing.
Hey,
you
I
guys.
didn't, you know, come on.
I
You signed
called
up for this.
workers' rights.
You signed up for this. There's deadlines, Mars. Deadlines. I've let you push it back. Deadlines.
By 2 days.
Yeah, that's a lot of days. You think I get to push my deadlines back? No.
No, you just find something else to work on in the meantime.
What?
When you don't want to do backgrounds. Oh, look, Gojo needs to be drawn.
Actually, half the time it's more like, I don't want to do backgrounds, so I guess I'll do lines or other colors because I gotta keep working on the comic or we die. The end.
Honestly, that's the move.
No. Gojo, all of the, like, monthly fan art things are actually, like, I have to force myself to do them freaking midnight the day before, like, on the 30th or 31st. I'm not joking.
It's true, you guys.
I like, always
I've been
finish
there.
them
I've seen it.
last minute. Very last minute. So at the moment,
Incredibly
Mars is
last
coloring.
minute.
So at a certain point, there was a period of time when Mars was like, not really doing anything because he had a lot of the script written.
I was literally just scripting, and that was it.
And we had a lot of the script written already. And then I had an idea. I was like, hey, I had bought myself the current drawing tablet that I'm using, and I had the idea. I was like, wait, like, you can color in the lines, you know, that's not like a crazy skill, you know, I'll give you the color palettes and everything. And so essentially for Mars's birthday, I bought her Clip Studio paint and I let her have my
which honestly is still one of the best birthday presents ever.
It's
like,
really great, though.
I love coloring the comic. I do find it stress relieving. It's so nice.
And I gave her my my old drawing tablet, which is it's a screenless one, so it has no screen. And I was like, okay, this is how you color the characters.
So I'm on hard mode, you guys.
Hey, I drew the first, like, 6 pages of the comic on hard mode, so, you know, come on.
I mean, that's true.
But
Hey, we're just
I
giving credit where
deserve to
credit's
be easy
due.
mode. I deserve to be easy mode.
You do.
But good morning, Amon. How have you been?
Morning. Oh my gosh,
Find
we're
that
getting to see everybody today. I'm so happy.
You find that starting the coloring or rendering process is difficult, but as soon as you get to highlighting, I love highlighting a lot. I can't stop myself. Okay, I always like, ooh, I'm gonna just do a little sketch. Here, let's have a beautiful example of this. I'm just gonna do a really little sketch, a quick sketch, like a speed sketch. We're gonna color it in. It's gonna be real messy. It's gonna be great, Okay, but then, oh no, it looks flat. It needs like really, really messy shadows, and then, but I never draw wings and feathers without the feather highlights. So let me spend way too long individually highlighting all these feathers. So here we go. This was supposed to be a quick 20-minute doodle thing, and it was. It's very messy, and the shadow's very messy, but I could not stop myself from doing all of these fucking feather highlights. Terrible. Oh my god. Pain. That's crazy, Tradosio. I do that sometimes. Well, I never do shading on the same layer because I don't really I don't have a very painterly style, and it's the current shading style I have bloomed from cell shading, so I still kind of have certain things from that. But depending on how I'm feeling on a given day, the flat colors may or may not be on the same layer. That's like how am I feeling today bit. Usually if I'm lazier, they'll be on one layer, which is weird because technically it's easier to do it when they're on multiple layers, but such is life.
That is how brain works.
That is how brain works. The effort of making a new layer every time is more effort than the pain of having to recolor everything. No. Please ask questions. Everybody here,
yes.
Never be afraid to ask questions. Honestly, I didn't really have much to talk about Voltron anymore. Comic Corner is the fun to just talk about really anything and everything as we work on the comic and
we vibe,
hopefully help you guys do art and stuff more.
If you have some questions about writing, well, I can answer those. Or just like if you have questions about life.
You're a bit worried, Amon?
Oh, why worried?
About the story? Worked out the details? It's not short anymore. Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happened with Outcast.
That is always what happens. We thought the first season was going to be 12 episodes. And even stupider, we thought we would have to pad it out. Like, make up more content just to hit that 12 episode mark. Guys, we're at like 50 scripts at this moment, and they're still not all done. It's gonna be at least 60.
Oh, is it this wolf thing, Tradosio? I can't see all the names on Discord because I'm on streamer mode, but I think it is you. That is really epic. Yeah, you have a much more, like, painterly rendered style than I ever try to go for, because honestly, I do not have the patience. But it looks really good. I think you showed I feel like you showed a whip of this before. Am I correct? Yeah, you did. I scrolled up. You did show a whip of it before. Oh, this is the exception of the rendering? I mean, I can't even get here. I've like slowly crept towards this a little bit, but I don't think I'll ever leave where I'm at because I just don't have the patience. Just really can't do it. I don't know very much about Honkai Star Rail, Deha. I do know that I love all the character designs because, I mean, it's Genshin. It's, Hoyoverse. So it's just
it's the same people
beautiful.
Who made Genshin. You know it's good.
It's just great. Yeah, Nicole, that I definitely agree on. When you're doing a lot more painterly and blending stuff, you're definitely going to be more on one layer. But I'm definitely not trying to go realistic or highly rendered. It's one of those things where one of my favorite, like, there's actually, well, yours is one more painterly, the Ferrex, and then we have someone did a much more painterly Milano, and then this really painterly gorgeous Hotsun. And
Oh my
while
God,
I
I
am
remember that
so, I admire them so much, right? I admire them so much. It's like, I can't do it. I just can't get there. I just can't make myself want to sit down for that amount of time. And I also will say, I know that a lot of, like, with the rendering and stuff like that, it's a lot of, like, oh, it kind of looks bad for a period of time, and then it looks good. I can't get through that stage. Like I would have pain getting through the, like, oh, it looks bad, but trust the process. I would die.
And
I would die.
that is why receiving fan art is so lovely, because you receive it in styles that are most often not your own.
I can imagine, Tradosio. I already know how much pain I go through when I decide that I have to draw every single feather highlight for every single feather, and I draw every single feather on wings because I'm a masochist. For wings solely.
You really are.
For wings solely. Otherwise, I simplify a lot of shit, a lot. But there's a reason that I don't painterly render like all of Milano's scales or their fur, because I think I would literally want to die.
I think you would die.
Literally die.
Like, Ori would perish on the spot. Not that she
Yeah,
couldn't do it.
Definitely, Deha.
The process of it would be agony.
As a learning process? Well, it came out really good.
Yeah.
It came out really well.
And
They
everything
definitely,
starts out a learning process.
they're definitely something you could get into like drawing maps with. You know, they definitely give me like TTRPG map vibes too, which is really nice. It's really, really nice. That style of rock. You know what I'm saying?
Quite lovely indeed.
I get like a really messy painterly style for backgrounds, and by that I mean I know it's gonna be blurred out, so I don't really care. My background style is definitely sort of reminiscent of the Scooby-Doo vibes, where it's like you can tell
find out method.
you can tell what they're going to like interact with because it's in a different art style than the rest of the background. Like, that's the vibe my comic has, and you know what? I'm okay with that because I just couldn't. I would be so terrible. Big homebrew compendium. Ooh, that's a cool project that I didn't know that was happening in Cinder's Discord. That's a cool project there, Tradosio.
Ooh. When did that start?
Looked like a nebula? Yeah, well, it worked. That is very true, Nicole. One-shot drawings and comics are definitely a whole different genre. And I've definitely shot myself in the foot a little bit with the effort I decided to put into the comic. I definitely, like, have made it a little more complicated on myself than the original. But I definitely sit there and, like, keep it pulled back. Because there was, like, I drew this Hotsun. I think it's in Doodles.
It's funny because the comic, like, does exist for us to get better at our
Oh,
our
100%.
craft.
But that's more in like a... So I drew this Hotsun, which I really, really love, and I really like it. But it has a couple things that just bring pain and wouldn't allow me to... I know that I do use a Cintiq, Nicole. Yes, I have a Cintiq 26-inch. So it is a rather big one. Because when I had a very lucrative job, I made sure to invest in myself, and I'm very happy I did. Because otherwise, I could not afford it now. But, yeah, with this, like, slightly more detailed hair pieces, and he's got a little fuzzy here, and this is colored line art, which is, again, a whole other ball game and time-consuming in itself. So while I really love this style, there was a lot of time consumed putting into this. So when I draw the comic, I definitely keep it to that original simplified look. But when I do draw, like, single pieces, like specifically the, like, monthly fan arts that I do, I definitely put a lot more time and effort. Oh my god, the one I did for Lynx, I wanted to die.
That came out so
oh no,
amazing.
I am so
Jeez, you
proud of
outdid
it.
yourself.
Where is it? Let's get there. But that one definitely
Show
is
that
like,
one off.
oh my god, I'm dying. You know, like at a certain point. I was definitely like, oh. Yeah, so this is the Link fan art I did. Of course, you can never zoom in. Let's get the actual image up. It's in the Discord, but let's get the actual image up because I cannot have too many folders. Fan art, video games, Legend of Zelda, Link. There we go. No. This one. Yeah, so we have all the links, and so all these little details, and the swords, and the arm, and every little highlight, and the shoes, fucking tassels. Like, oh my god, this
so damn
took
good.
forever. The freaking chain, I drew chain link, pain, what is, you know, like, really, really happy with how it came out. Yeah, the Broken Master Sword is sick. God, though, finding reference. So this is like right after / as Tears of the Kingdom was coming out. So finding high resolution references of this Link was pain and torture and just horrendous. Why, thank you, Tradosia. But yeah, this is like peak what my style is like this amount of detail and effort, like all these line details and everything like that. It's a combination of, because I do a lot of item art, you know, like weapons and stuff, specifically for Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder. So this is sort of like culmination of that all together. But this is definitely like peak effort.
And boy, howdy does it show.
Yeah, envy the braid. Braids are actually really easy. How I do braids, I can show you.
Oh yeah, you could show off a Hotsun braid.
Well, I did earlier, but I can show real easy braids. It's very simple, in my opinion at least. Maybe a little bit difficult, but essentially what I do for braids is you draw the line of how you want the braid to go, right? And then you just draw little like V's in. So that's one V, right? And then you draw sort of out and in for another V, like this, and they just sort of nest together, and they all meet at that middle line, and then you just kind of make them a little smaller as you get to the end, and then as you get to the last braid, you don't close it all the way, and then you sort of connect it by the little thing, and then just add the little end, and that's how I draw braids. Ta-da! Very simple. Now, is it as accurate? No, but it's simplified to a point where you can tell it's a braid, and that's all that matters.
Yes.
Exactly. Like an S shape? Yeah, that's the whole thing. Not an S shape. I do V's. Technically, like the way a braid works is they're kind of like nested in each other, like offset, like this. But I care so little, and I'm not going for realism, because they're kind of like nested in each other, so it's kind of weird. So yeah, I go for simple. You know, everybody can tell it's a braid. It's kind of closer to like a fishtail braid. Yeah, it's harder, Tradosio, and people do it, and it's definitely, that's realistic. But this is how I simplify it, and I think it works out easily. Hello, Roval, how are you?
Hey, Roval.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're a Zelda fan now, Nicole. We saw your beautiful fan art of Link and everything like that. But yeah.
Oh, so
honestly, my favorite upgrade in my art style is the hair highlight texture that I do now. That's a relatively new thing. That's a this year since Vash thing. And so I'm very happy with it, and I really like it. And so that's what I like to do.
It's just so fun that the characters have that now.
I'm glad I could help out, Tradosio.
A whole different life.
You've been doing Y shapes? Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the one. Mine's like a getting to a Y. I mean, what is a Y, but not a V on top of a line? You know. So yeah, they're all the same area. Same idea. Where am I? Is this one? I can still do that. Where are you going? Oh, yeah, the foreshortening with the kneeling or like elbows and stuff, that's always tough, Tradocio. I mean, same, Roval, you know? Same. Well, now you can add all the braids you want, Tradocio.
There you go.
I also very highly recommend.
And add it to your repertoire.
All right, let's look at Honkai Star Rail stuff. If my Discord would load, okay, Mars might get cut off. Discord's doing a dead thing.
Uh-oh. Discord,
not letting me click things. Oof. All right. Well, Discord's frozen.
Well, I can still hear you.
Yeah. It's not letting me do anything. All right.
You overwhelmed Discord.
I overwhelmed Discord.
It was possible.
No, it's my computer's doing a weird thing that it does every once in a while. It'll have to give it a sec. I'll try to look back in a little bit. Why in lowercase? Yeah, it's a I mean, I guess if you make it more of a U shape, that's different. But if you do the slant Y, yeah, that's going the same way. Because you can, it's weird, yeah. It broke, it did. It'll come back. Because stream's running and I can still draw, I don't want to do too much to it right now. Yeah. Again, there's a reason that I simplified it to this, because I could do this in 2 seconds, right? And it's honestly closer to what a fishnet braid is versus a regular braid is. Fishtail, not fishnet. Fishtail braid.
It's okay, I didn't even catch that.
French braid? No. Yeah, I literally can't do anything with my mouse. Very weird.
Outside of Discord or
no. My mouse is literally not doing anything outside of Clip Studio Paint.
Oh,
that's all that I can touch, apparently.
Oh no.
The universe said, Ori, you must color this or die. If you're gonna put a gun to Mars's head.
If you're going to force Mars to color, then you must too.
Exactly. And so, here we are. It might fix itself soon, otherwise I forgot what I did the last time this happened.
It usually does.
It'll fix itself eventually.
It figures
Braids are easy.
Out.
Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I definitely simplify my braids to something visually easy and not realistic at all. I mean, but that's 90% of what I do. Honestly, realism hella goes out the window. I want it to be it feels like the thing. Does that make sense? As long as it's yes, I recognize this as the thing I'm trying to do. I don't care if it's accurate.
There are tons of schools of thought with art that believe in that philosophy.
That's definitely
official.
Yeah, that's definitely how my art goes. Because I'll admit 100%, I don't do a lot with wrinkles to make them accurate in any valid way. It is just vibe, and as long as it's vibe enough, we just chill.
Then you're golden.
Tech does do strange stuff. This has happened every once in a while. No worries, Mason. I'm sorry you feel so bad, but happy you managed to stop
Mason.
by. Are you getting sick, or it's
feel better?
Just regular ew? Sometimes my body is gross, because I feel that sometimes. Every once in a while, it's why do I hurt today? Why is my nose in disgust? All right, let's look at Discord on my phone for 2
Ain't
seconds.
that the $1 million question?
Yeah. Look at. Oh, these gods are epic as fucking hell. Oh my god. Yes. I mean, yes. I mean, you know, it's MiHoYo. Why I shouldn't be surprised.
Surprise.
Yeah.
They always do.
Yeah. That's the more
designs.
like accurate braid, Nicole. But I see what you're saying with the little Y's. I see what you're saying. Aw, that's fine, Mason. You don't have to. I'm sorry you feel that way, but I'm glad you could stop by.
Definitely take care of yourself, Mason.
What did I get?
Your
Hot
health
cocoa.
will
It's hot
come
cocoa
first.
season. Honestly, the
It is
weather,
hot cocoa
I
season.
never used to be a person that was really hella affected by the weather, but after college happened, the weather is like, ah yes, if the weather is gross, man, do I feel terrible. And it's like, why? How dare you?
It's
That's
like,
unfair.
When did this become a thing?
What?
Like, I'm not someone who hates rainy days, but too many of them in a row, and I loathe them.
Or just
Like,
not even rain,
give me something
dreary.
else,
If it's
please.
dreary for a whole week, it's like all my
It's the
motivation is
actual
gone.
worst. Like, why?
I will admit,
I love rain. It's
Deha,
great. It's fun, but this? Oh no.
I really like the first guy with the detached hands and the lot of yellow and the braids. I love him. He's my favorite. I mean, he fits my vibe real hella well. I will say, in the second group, the sort of centaur-y one does have the leggies. So that is nice. But the first one is my favorite. He's got the vibe, okay? He's got the vibe. Nanook the destruction and Lan the hunt. Beautiful. You're energized when it's raining and gloomy? Well, lucky you, Dradosio. No. I went to... So we live in a place where it's actually relatively sunny most of the time. And I never realized how sunny it was where we live, you know,
we really
mathematically,
do take it for
out of the
granted.
year. And I went to college in one of the cloudiest places in the United States. Like, I'm not joking. Like, it's like top 10, okay? And I didn't realize how absolutely horrible I would feel. And then I would come home because it would essentially be like you go to school in like the end of August, right? And then the second that like September hits, it's not Seattle. No, it's not Seattle,
No,
but it's
Not
up there.
Seattle.
Sun is a deadly laser. Yeah, you know, you gotta have the in between, which is definitely where we live. We live in a nice sweet spot, if I'm being completely honest. This is very nice.
It's pretty good.
You take
not
it for
gonna
granted
lie.
a little bit, but it's Syracuse, New York, is where I went to college, and essentially, fall would happen, so September would come, and then the clouds would roll in, and you wouldn't see the sun until the week before you go home in May. Like, it was like, I'm not like, it's really not an exaggeration. It's so bad that the second the sun came out, everybody on the campus is outside. It's like, oh my god, yes. The heavens have blessed us with this day. And
It's funny because New Paltz was kind of the same way. I don't think we had super cloudy days, but man, when the sun came out, everyone wanted to be outside.
I'm talking like gray, like literally fully gray, like no sun, just gray clouds, the entire sky. And it was so much so that when I would come home for winter break and it was sunny in the winter, that was like a weird. I was like, this is a thing that can happen.
It's like, what the hell is
like
this?
like the sun can exist in December. Like, I forgot that was a possibility. And so after college, it was like, wow, yeah, having a week of like dreary is just like, wow, suddenly my will to do anything is gone. And I'm like, when did that start happening? Like, that never... And it's not like I don't go outside. Like, I sit outside when it's nice, like I do. And I have, like, my windows, like, my blinds open, and it's a very nice view, and the sun, like, shines in, and it's all great. But it's just like, damn. When it's dreary for long periods of time, it's like, my motivation is gone. Where did it go?
Ori, we become adults.
I've become a plant. You know, that's what I think happened. Like, there's no other explanation. I have just I photosynthesize.
I mean, yes, you have finally achieved
and
your
the
final
lack
form.
of UV has just, you know, just murdered me. I wilt. Burn after 5 minutes of sunlight. Well, I'm sorry for that, but there's something like I am definitely someone that is probably more scared than your average person of, like, getting sunburn and skin cancer, and I definitely don't want that. And while I definitely don't burn very easily as a human, I understand that that really doesn't matter, and I can feel the sun, like, cooking my skin. Even if it's not actually burning, like, I can feel it, and I hate that. So I always wear, like, a big, pretty sun hat when I go out. But just the fact of the sun existing is nicer than the same exact weather conditions, but the clouds being covered in the sky, you know? Literally, Roval.
It
Literally.
really does make a difference.
And it's just really wild. And it's not something I, like, notice or think about until it's, like, happened. You know, suddenly it's one day, it's like, why am I so agonizingly undesired to do anything? And then someone mentions, like, oh, it's been dreary, like, the whole week. And it's like, that's why. And that's why I feel like literally lounging around and doing nothing, but feeling guilty about it, because that's the human experience.
Because that's just life. You can't win.
Oh my goodness, Tradosio. Jesus.
Ooh.
Damn, well, I'm glad you recovered from that, because, oh boy. No, that's a vibe I'm on. I like to sit... Okay, the tree nerd's gonna come out. One of my favorite trees, it's not my favorite tree of all time, but one of my favorite trees is the locust. Why do you ask, is it the locust? Well, it's definitely not that it drops seed pods and is very messy, because it is. It also has a lot of thorns in it, and, you know, and some of the forms of locusts kind of suck. However, a good locust tree provides beautiful, dappled shade. And that's the fucking shit, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You get to sit on a nice sunny day under a locust tree. It's just top tier. Second closest thing is a sizable Japanese maple.
Oh, so good.
Those are the... See, everybody in here who's like, I don't want to go outside, because you gotta get yourself a good tree.
Yeah.
Good to get yourself a good tree. Both are...
Some places
I'm sorry, Roval. We definitely at least... We've definitely gotten more heat waves, there's no question about that. But we definitely still have some, like, days where it's not grossly humid and there's, like, a breeze. So it's, like, nice to sit outside. Especially if you do it in the morning, you know? In the summer, you gotta get out there, like, before 11 o'clock. And then it's like, ooh,
yeah.
this
and
is
that's
nice.
its own special kind of hell.
I don't know. I like to drink my tea, get my morning cup of tea, and I sit outside. I sit outside a lot more because I, like, force myself to use my sketchbook more, because I'm mostly a digital artist, and I always neglect drawing in a sketchbook, which is really sad, because then I do it and I'm like, oh, I miss having this, like, it's like less pressure in a way, where it's like, I don't have to even think about it being perfect, because I know it can't be, because I don't have all the tools and stuff. Talk about the insect, the locust. Yeah, no. A locust tree. I don't know why. I don't know if they have any relation in their naming convention, Nathan. I never thought about that.
That would be interesting if they did. Considered.
Taziroth is like a bug. Its design is very appealing. Oh, interesting. I see. Okay. You're talking about the God's Day, huh? Yeah, Roval, that's the pain. The storms. Our storms are definitely really hell recently.
Oh, they suck.
We definitely have superstorm weather.
Yeah. It's rough, buddy.
My favorite is when they're like, "Oh, can't have climate change because it snows."
Like,
this is not how it works.
that's not how that works.
Not how it works. It's not how anything works.
Oy.
Tornado Alley? Ugh, yeah. No, we've definitely... Where we live is definitely on the mild weather side just overall, which is very nice. But the amount of just rain, right? Or rainstorms and thunderstorms have been a lot worse. You know, they just keep getting worse and worse. Flooding, I mean, you know. Yeah. Why are you not colored in? Little hair piece. Get in there. This is not the right color. So when the streets were completely flooded. I worked for 2 years as an arborist representative. So basically my job was to go to people's houses and assess their trees and tell them, like, if they were sick, what they needed to do, if they were dangerous, what they needed to do, how we could prune it, how we could remove it, etc., etc. In my first year, okay, so I started in January. That same year, in August, we had such a terrible storm. And now the storm did not span a very large area. Where I live, nothing. Where I worked, just utter destruction. I actually almost died. I was working when the storm hit, and I was in my car. And I parked my car on the side of the road, and I went to this guy, and I talked with him about his tree and everything like that. And it wasn't raining. It kept raining on and off, and it was very windy. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a sample of your tree. So I go back to my car to get my my pruners to take a sample, and the wind picks up and the rain starts pouring down. So I jump in my car, and I'm like, I know it keeps passing. I don't have like anywhere to be right now. I'm gonna wait. And then it was just taking a long time to wait. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna move my car into his driveway. The tree is right next to the driveway, and I'm gonna lean out the window and clip the branch from the window because I don't want to get soaking wet. We're talking like horizontal rain soaking wet.
Oh my
I
God.
get that sample out the window, and I roll up the window just as the wind picks up really hard, and I hear this crash and this snap, and I turn around, and where I was parked on the street before, the street tree had snapped at the base and would have crushed my car.
Jeez.
And then I went, I'm going home.
Yeah, no,
I'm out.
seriously.
And I drove home.
What the fuck?
And I was like, I'm done. Cancel all my appointments. We ain't going. We ain't doing anything else.
Yeah, no way.
Horrible. I went home. For the next, what's the math there? 4 months, I worked every day of the week, Saturdays and Sundays, from when that storm hit literally the first, like, second day of August through Thanksgiving. That's how much damage was in my area alone. Again, where I lived, 20 minutes from where this storm hit, nothing. Nothing. Literally nothing. Untouched.
Can
Where I
confirm,
worked,
'cause I live pretty close to Ori, and yeah,
massive
nothing.
trees falling on people's houses, needing cranes, tens of thousands of dollars of damage just to get the tree off your house. Trees ripped. We're not talking trees failed. They didn't snap and break. They were uprooted out of the ground. Lawns pulled up like carpets, blankets over the trees. The sidewalks in crumbling pieces because the roots ripped out of the ground. And we're talking, again, this is a
It was
small section
crazy.
of the island. Not so just confined to this one little area. People who worked in my same
and
office,
poor Ori was just
but
overwhelmed by the entire.
No, it was
thing,
okay. It was so bad.
No one left her alone.
The next day, so after that whole near-death experience happened, I had to go into work the next day. Storm literally lasted one day, overnight. Like, it was literally a Tuesday, and that was it. I went into work on Wednesday, and I got into work at like 7 in the morning, and I worked until 9 at night. Pitch black. It was so bad at certain points driving around to try and get to people's houses to help service them and like deal with the triage and damage and everything. It was so bad that I didn't have cell service on my company phone. I thankfully had cell service on my personal phone. I had to call my mother to get Google Maps in order to navigate me out of an area because I couldn't get far enough away from the debris to allow me to escape the downed trees. Like, I was trapped, literally trapped.
That is actually insane.
Like, horrifying.
Jesus
Just
Christ.
like every road I went down was literally blocked. Like, I could not get to where I needed to go, and I needed to have somebody else
end of days.
Look at maps to tell me from the ethereal plane of how to get far enough away from this damage area to then come back around another way. It was terrible.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely horrific.
Yeah, blowing the up. Yeah, it is blowing all around. Yeah, Deha. It was nuts. Yeah, the wind twisted. So we never actually had tornadoes, but we had a lot of twisting winds. So the trees that were snapped were literally twisted apart from each other. So everything was like ripped and turned, and it was terrible. It was just horrible. It was horrendous. Literally worst experience. Glad I'm not. After that experience, every time there was even like a thought of a storm, it was like I couldn't sleep at night. That I was horrified that I would have to go through what I had to go through for that again. And then I'm not in that job anymore, thankfully. So now I don't have that concern. But that was a terrible time.
Problem solved.
Problem solved indeed. Generator been struck by lightning. Oh my god, that is just terrible, terrible luck.
You guys have some wild stories.
That was all one job, Nicole. That all of those experiences I just listed were one job. my first job out of college. That was all one job. A terrible job that I hated. I don't regret it, but I did hate it. And I would never go back. Ever to that line of work.
I feel like we all have that one starting job that was like, yeah, it got me on my feet, it got me a little bit of money here and there, but good God, I would never go back to it.
Yeah, it's definitely like if I had to do it all again, I would do it all again. Because it paid off my student debt, it got my computer, it got my, my drawing tablet, and everything like that. It inspired me to make Outcast with Mars, but I definitely will say I hate it. I hate it a lot.
Okay.
Oh my god,
the
Deha.
entry is finished.
Yay!
In the time it took you to tell a story. Also, I haven't hiccuped in the last couple minutes.
Look at you. Knock on wood right now.
Ah! Knocking on wood.
There you go. Success. Beautiful. But yeah, the storms have definitely gotten way worse. Actually,
oh, big time.
That's a whole thing in Outcast.
Yeah.
In a funny way. Basically,
you thought global warming wouldn't affect
our
comic?
Technically, it has nothing to do with global warming. It has to do with how the Earth existed in the past. Essentially, when the Earth had a much more stably warm climate, there were really not a lot of storms to any storms. However, when there were storms, they were absolutely horrifically horrendous Armageddon-type storms. And so they were incredibly devastating. And that is the world that Outcast lives in. It's very mild. There's not really seasons, but there's not a lot of storms either. But if there is a storm, oh boy.
It's a bad one.
Oh boy. And there's your world building for the day. We got little tidbits of world building here and there.
It exists. It is present.
It does exist. I will say though, take anything that's not explicitly in the comic with a grain of salt, because things are subject to change, and also certain things said on the fly can be wrong. But that is a current idea. As
that can happen. Like I said last week, a story is a breathing, changing thing.
Don't be scared of weather, Ramon. It just happens. It does happen. It's not every time, you know? There's a lot of things to be scared of.
Weather shouldn't be one of them.
There's nothing you can do about it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
At least in the moment, there's nothing to be done about it.
That's really a setup for a storm then, isn't it, Deha? Where am I going?
Okay. So I see a new upload with the
goodness.
line E5 page 4. That's the one you want me to do next?
Yes.
Okay. So not entry 30.
You just did entry 29, not 30, yeah. 31.
Okay.
E5 page 4. That's what you want. E5 page 4. That one.
Copy that.
And that's how I will be labeling them from now on, the correct way.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm
the
so
other way
happy
is
it is now the correct way.
the other way is our stupid old way, okay?
And it lasted for 30 entries.
Well, because I like took 6 months and just hammered them out, you know?
That is true.
Well, that's good, Deha. I'm glad that no one died. I don't think anyone died in the storm I was talking about either. It was just a lot of destruction.
A lot of trees died.
It was, well, yeah.
A lot of trees did not make it.
Unfortunately.
Oh,
but...
here comes my kitty to be a butt.
A Larry Butts.
Yeah.
It's funny, one of the things I do that shoots myself in the foot with the comic is that the lines are transparent. And thus I have to color, I can't use the paint bucket without having to color under the lines. So. That's a little...
You brought it on yourself, Ori.
It's the trade-off of having a sketchy style that means I don't have to do all those freaking details like you saw in Link every time to be happy. It's a trade-off.
That it is. You make certain sacrifices.
Oh, Mason, if you're still here, are you figuring out Clip Studio Paint all right?
Oh, yeah. How
it's
is
definitely...
that going?
I was definitely afraid to start Clip Studio Paint. The only reason I'm actually using Clip Studio Paint is because I took an online art course with a comic artist that used Clip Studio Paint and was like, well, all of this stuff is transferable into your, like, any art program. I'm using Clip Studio Paint, and I'll be talking about it in Clip Studio Paint. I was like, okay, there's a 30-day trial. I'll try it. And then I was like, okay, I do kind of like it. So I got it.
Ooh, sold.
And then I learned with that.
We used Medibang paint.
Yes. Not really. Do you have any specific questions? Because I could help with specific questions. The general stuff, I don't know. Essentially...
Ori and I are a wealth of knowledge. When the timing is right.
My canvas size is 1,000 by 500, and again, 300 or 350 resolution. That's the big thing. That's the big thing. You definitely want to have that. Figuring out how panels work. All right, panels. Very, 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 pretty easy. So, the panel tool's over here. Let's get a new a new thing. All right.
Yeah, let's start fresh.
Okay, well, we'll start with panels. Panels are...
Oh, very nice link, Nicole. I finally got a chance to look
saw
at
it?
Discord. I'm no longer
Very
being held
nice.
at gunpoint.
That is very true. So you go in and you pick your frame. This is one of the D-sets. The default frames is this like rectangle frame. And so you have it on create frame, not cut frame. Create frame, rectangle frame. And you have your pen on the color that you want the border to be. And you draw the thing. Okay, so you drew your frame. Now this makes... Don't actually know if you can see. I think you can see my layers here on the side. That makes this layer folder. So it has a little frame icon here, and in it you have two nested folders. You have a blank transparent layer and another white layer. So if you so let's actually move this frame so it's over the braid. Okay. So with the white layer on, you can't see anything underneath it. With the white layer off, you can see everything underneath it. So that's like the frame background. So usually what I do is my sketches are on normal layers, and then I put the frame on top, and then I unview the frame background layer. Now, because the frame has, you can see this little black box, it's a clipping mask. So that means that anything I draw inside the frame shows up, but if I draw outside the frame, it doesn't show up. Now, it doesn't show up because it's not there, it just won't show it. So if I was to... Okay. And now Clip Studio is acting up.
Oh, no.
I can't move layers around. This also happens sometimes. Yeah, okay, I can't move layers. However, if I was to remove this layer from this frame folder, you would be able to see it drawn outside the... outside the thing. Here, maybe I can copy paste it. So if I copy and then I paste the frame outside the frame, see, all of that stuff that I drew outside the frame exists. But while it's inside the frame, you just can't see it because of the clipping mask. So it only shows the stuff inside the frame. And if I was to change the size of the frame, it shows all that new stuff. Ta-da!
They're sneaky like that.
I don't know anything else I have specifically to say about that. If you have a question, go ahead. My go-to inking pen is, so Clip Studio Paint, I actually use, so what this is a preset, this is not a preset, I'm sorry. This is a downloaded thing. Now, if I can remember what it is, I don't know. Not add from default. Where is my thing? Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. Okay. I can't remember which one it is exactly, but it's like a pencil pen, and then I use I think it's one of these. I think it's this one, if I'm remembering correctly. I think it's this one. And essentially yeah, it just does take practice, Mason. But if you ever have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, have a good night.
Take care.
But essentially, what I do is that these are all the same. So this line pencil, sketch pencil, and superline pencil are literally all the same brush. But the sketch pencil has only 7 stabilization, where the line pencil has 20, and then the superline pencil has 75. So
Can't you adjust the stabilization of each?
Yeah. I have it copied because it's like a preset. It's easy to like flip instead of having to manually adjust it and remember those numbers every time. I just get to flip. So it's like, I want to sketch. I can just have to actually be on a sketch page. I can just very easily, very fast, versus if it's like the superline pencil, it's smoother. So it does lag behind if you're really going fast or anything like that. It lags a little, but it makes really like curves and stuff. It's very easy to have long continuous curves. And then the line pencil is somewhere in between, where it's just a little smoother, but it definitely doesn't give as much lag. But to do like really specific curves, a little harder. School and comic artists break the borders of the frame. Yeah, it is fun. Do I sometimes have things pop? Usually not Usually not in this one with the sort of like I did originally have like every once in a while something happen, but I don't find that I have a lot of action sort of or moments that I want to have that sort of vibe personally. I did a kind of thing with that in the Ace Attorney AU thing, where it was kind of like layered weird, but I just personally haven't had, we don't really have any action scenes yet. There are action scenes in the future, so they will likely going to happen.
And I am having a lot of fun thinking about how I'll write them.
But so far, no, I don't think I've actually had anything break the frame specifically for this one. But it's definitely not that I don't like it. I just do find that I associate it with a very specific kind of feeling, I guess, that I haven't wanted to utilize yet. Because I do find it is for a specific purpose. Ferrex's feet are detailed. Alright.
Yeah, I noticed in this entry he has a lot more raised toe beans on him.
Well, it's just there's a lot more showing of it and angles and all that sort of stuff. It's all in the angles. But he also has a lot more, honestly, we probably see Ferrex's whole body the most out of any other character, solely because he just moves around so much. He just needs to move around so much.
He just cannot sit still.
He cannot sit still.
That boy.
He jumps around. He just needs it to be a whole thing. I've not drank enough water.
I don't think I've drank enough water all week. And that's not good.
I'm glad he's your favorite boy, Mason. I like everyone having favorite boys. It's funny.
I love when people say they have a favorite character, because I'm just like, I also want to know, like, what do you like about the character? Is it the design? Is it the personality? Like, what's the reason?
Yeah. If you're willing, tell us. Or if anybody else in chat has a favorite character of Outcaste and they want to talk about it. If you haven't read Outcaste and you want to, because you should, because it's good. I'm not biased.
You should probably do that.
Totally not biased. Not at all. It's our comic. It's what I'm working on literally right now.
It's what I finished working on about 10 minutes ago.
Okay. I think that should post in YouTube. But yeah, you should read it. It's really good. No bias at all. You can trust us.
Totally no bias.
Everybody will obviously like it.
It's universal.
It's universal. We don't plug very often. Honestly, the only thing I plug.
Don't?
No, I don't think compared.
I feel like every week we plug.
Oh, yeah. But this is the only thing we plug.
Oh, that's true.
I don't plug nothing else. Read the comic, do it.
Well, we have plugged Cinder before.
Well, plugging other people is a very different ballgame, I feel. I mean, some of you have come over from Cinder. If you like D&D stuff, especially homebrew, you should check him out.
Yes. I do believe we're playing Baldur's Gate tomorrow.
We are no longer playing Baldur's Gate tomorrow.
Oh! Well, that's news to me. Never mind, guys.
We're playing Baldur's Gate next week, though. I know, Mars, how dare she not be up to date in the things I didn't tell her about? You know?
Yeah. I should just be a mind reader, right?
She should.
I mean, that's what a good employee would do.
Yes, I was told today that something came up and thus no Baldur's Gate tomorrow. It's Drawing with Dragons, though, and we're making items, Jinka, this time instead of monsters, which will be interesting.
Gonna be fun. But we still have D&D, right?
Yes, we do.
Oh,
it's a Friday thing that came up, not a Saturday thing that came up.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was going to be a Friday going into Saturday.
No, I think I would strangle Dylan if he skips in the middle at this point. Because he He definitely came for me when I had to cancel some in the past.
Oh, I know. Like,
While I was
same,
working.
same.
It's Cinder's mouth procedure that's preventing him from long-term gaming.
What?
I don't know about that. I mean, he does rally.
I feel like
It's a
I missed
long-term
something.
game. Yes. All right. Nicole says
That's
design-wise.
definitely the vibe, Nicole.
Well, he will soon have his own hangout, so we're getting there.
Yes.
This
and
is
you'll
what I'm
even
working on
more
right
of
now.
him.
He actually has the longest hangout. So essentially there are 3
Because I could not
entries.
stop writing this scene.
He also talks a lot compared.
Yeah.
You know,
he is
Aster
way more of a
doesn't talk
talker than
very much,
Aster.
so there's
Aster
definitely not
lasted
as
like
much.
4 panels, so
Yeah.
not panels, 4 entries, so
4
it was
pages.
just like,
yeah.
okay, you're done.
Ah, I see, Tradocio. Yeah, that'll definitely get you on the talking wise if you have dental work.
Oh yes.
But yeah, we get a lot more Ferrix. But yeah, Ferrix, I love Ferrix, but he's probably the most annoying to draw just because he does move so much. And now I do this to myself in the sense of that, but also he takes the pen from me and forces it to happen. So he just moves.
Oh yeah.
Voice.
He took the keyboard from me and wrote his own dialogue.
Exactly.
It was just like, wow, this boy.
He is I'm not gonna spoil anything, but so Nicole, I'm very interested to see how you sort of go with things we learn about Ferrix in Sinet's Hangout, actually, because we learned stuff about Ferrix in Sinet's Hangout, and all of the Ferrix we get in Ferrix's Hangout. But Ferrix has the longest Hangout. Now, surprisingly, it's only 2 pages longer than Sinet's. Sinet's is 8, and Ferrix is 10. So it's actually not, like, crazy compared to Aster's, who's only 4. Poor Aster. He just doesn't talk. It's not that we don't love him.
We do love him.
Honestly, his family is most fleshed out compared to anybody else.
And we haven't even met them yet. They
It'll be a
probably won't get
while.
introduced until like season 2.
It's a while.
It's a very long
I mean,
while.
we still have Everett to introduce. So I feel like there's too much. Definitely characters plan. That's the one thing about a webcomic when it's like, oh yes, we have all these characters that will be introduced, need to be introduced, but it's definitely like, it's gonna be a while.
We are a long ways off.
We are a long ways off. Also, it's wild that you mentioned his height, Nicole, because he is the 2nd tallest of the callers, but he also is tall as well. He has extra leg, I guess is the word to say, because of the way that his legs work, right? Being digigrade legs. So he has, like, technically extra leg at any given time, because he's kind of always bent kneed, so on tiptoes, he's taller. So when I drew him for the Ace Attorney AU, he has the wooden sandals that have the blocks underneath. So he's even, and then he has normal human legs. So he's like super tall. He's not Aster tall, but he's pretty tall. And so I was like, this is kind of wild. There's just a lot of leg involved.
He's got them legs.
He's got them legs. But yes, and design was with him having the most animalistic features on his face. I love that, but what it does make for is a difficult time putting him in non-animal AUs. We have to think of creative ways.
You just need the ears.
You
somehow.
can't miss the nose and the ears, like both together.
Ori,
yeah.
Show them Cute High Earth Defense Club Ferrix. And just how weird it is to have him as a human.
Okay. My computer works again!
Yay!
Oh, yay! I can click
Ferrix
on
is
things.
the cure, everybody. Ferrix is the answer.
The computer said yes, you can look at Ferrix stuff. Yeah, because the Oron High School Host Club one, he does have horns. It was just the cute Earth High Defense Club one, where he doesn't. Well, he has the headphones in that one. And in Owl House, he has the horns. Where am I? Blah, 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 blah. This one. It's just, well, this art feels older than 2022, but I guess it's not. But yeah, so he's got nothing.
Yeah, there he
and
is.
it's just, he doesn't
tail,
look right.
regular nose, regular pupils, no ears, no, like, who
it's
is
just
this?
odd. Versus, like, Sinnit, he's fine. You know, like, this is still Sinnit. You know, this is still Aster.
Like, even though he doesn't have the tail, it still looks like him. Even Aster, like, he doesn't have his big wings, but it's still him.
Still
Ferrex
Aster.
just looks so wild to me.
So not it.
So
like, I don't know.
We realize he needs the ears.
Yeah, so for the next...
Or he needs, like, the Atsushi from Bungo Stray Dogs belt. Just that long belt that dangles off and resembles a tail.
So then the next human AU art we did, Mars suggested those cat ear headphones. And it definitely improved.
I think it worked pretty well.
It definitely improved.
Because now it looks like Ferrex again.
Now it does look like Ferrex again. And then in the
his human nose is still weird as hell, though.
It is. I think I've done the best in the Ace Attorney AU. Actually did very, very well.
That one looks the most like Ferrex. And I think it's because, like, the cat ear headphones got the job done, but having his hair be like the pseudo ears, it's like it's already a part of him, so it works.
And
you
then
know?
This was art for Owl House AU stuff, where he has the horns because some of the demon students have horns, and those are his ears. So that helps as well. But yeah, but I still think I do pretty well with him having the cat ear headphones in the band AU. I do think work out very well.
Well, it matches his outfit a lot better in that AU too.
That too, yeah, it makes sense. That's why it's gonna be rough to figure out how we do it with the cafe AU. Because that's the one.
Just stick cat ears on him and say he does
I did that. I did that.
There we go.
And then you told me, nah, we can figure out something, you know, classier than that.
Oh, did I? That was stupid.
How dare you?
Why did I say that? That was dumb.
Oh no, definitely 100%. I mean, look at Ron Delight's hairstyle, and who else had a crazy hairstyle?
That man literally has the Princess Leia hair buns. Come on.
Okay, every time that Luke at me comes on the screen, I'm just like, I don't know how I managed to make him look so good. Because when I think about my Luke at me, just like, Cafe AU?
Cafe AU.
That's the one where it's like
coffee shop AU.
Yeah, just difficult to incorporate
because
the ears somehow.
It's another modern setting. It's another human setting. And now they're in an establishment where, you know, they have to dress the part to do the job.
Yeah. And you can't use Ace Attorney logic where he just has pointy Leia buns, you know? Not every AU can he just have pointy Leia buns. And I also feel like not every AU can he just have the headphones. Like, I don't, you know, it just doesn't necessarily work to have the headphones
Favorite
every
character
time.
design from Ace Attorney?
Ooh. I love Edgeworth a lot.
Edgeworth does look
I'm
very
not
good.
gonna lie.
I might be the odd one out here. I really like Gumshoe's design.
Gumshoe's design is good.
Like,
Gumshoe's
you
design
look
is
at his
good.
design and it fits his character.
It does.
Like, big, lovable, clumsy oaf. He's got the crooked smile, but he means well. It's just like, you get that vibe when you see his art. Like, it's really well done.
I'm trying to think of a character that I'm specifically like, and remember, Nicole, I'm only going off of what we've met in the games, because even though I've seen a couple character designs, I don't really know them very well, so I'm really just going off what I know very well. And so there's like a difference between Edgeworth, I love, like, his look overall is top tier. I
He's
love
just
how he
pretty.
looks. I love his hair. I love his style. It's great.
He's
He's
very
beautiful.
pretty.
We do need to hug him. Yes. Gumshoe, he's a great lovable teddy bear. Love Gumshoe. He's great. But I have not considered a bandana. That is or a ribbon. That is something to think about, Tradosio. I will have to keep that in mind. Because that would work. Ooh, like Miss Molly's, where it, okay, I do like that, Tradosio. I will have to play around with that when we do Cafe AU stuff. But I actually really do like that. Yeah, I keep thinking about it more. It's really nice. Yeah, Edgeworth is just so good, you know, but trying to think of a character that's specifically like the design of them is good, you know, where it's not necessarily a character that I'm like, oh yeah, smash, you know, but it's like the design is good.
Well, that's why I went with Gumshoe, because like his character
hardcore,
comes
like,
through his design.
I'm like going through my head of like all the characters.
I mean, Desiree's design is also very fun.
You know what?
The tire earrings are just a vibe.
Emma's design.
Oh, Emma's is good too. I wanted to cosplay
Emma's
that,
design.
so yeah, definitely a good design.
I love Emma's design. I love the layers it has. It has the school uniform, and then it has the jacket. It has the glasses that actually mean something in the end. You know, the whole thing. And I will say, I do personally gravitate towards busier designs, right? That's why I love MiHoYo's stuff. Like, I mean, Honkai, Star Rail, Genshin Impact, like, they're gorgeous because there's so much shit going on, and it's just somehow still really beautiful, and that's definitely
it always gives your eyes something to look at without being
I love
cluttered.
to gravitate towards. So I think Emma's there's a lot going on in hers, but I don't feel like it's busy. I think Emma's is my favorite character design wise, but Edgeworth is the most beautiful. And also I know young Edgeworth's like a jacket is really great too. And old Edgeworth's jacket is beautiful.
But we haven't met him yet.
I know, it's just pain. I really am, Nicole. I'm ready. I'm very ready for
I'm so damn excited.
all the AA. Well, that would be AA4 would be the first Apollo Justice, right? Is that what that is? We have a while to get there because we do have both investigations first. But yeah,
It takes some time.
Edgeworth is just beautiful. Like I can't. There's so far not a character that can top in Ace Attorney the beauty of Edgeworth. He's just done very well. Overall, though, I mean, Milano's my favorite boy. I love Milano too. Milano took everything I learned out of making my very first real OC Griffin and then just made it better. And you know what? I'm very happy with that. I really gotta draw Griffin again. I had like a whole piece going, and then I just sort of never got to finish it last year.
You gotta return.
Like the Layton crossover? Our one-person Pastry Puff is working their way up to the Layton crossover. That's the only one we don't plan on playing.
One game at a time.
The main reason we don't plan on playing that is, one, because I don't know any Professor Layton stuff, and I don't know if I want to play through all those games. And two,
I just found out it was a lot of math, so...
It is a lot of math.
I'm out.
And I don't think that would be particularly interesting on stream. But two, the bigger thing is that it's just a much harder game to find. You know? Like, overall, trying to get to the crossover is, like, specifically in a way where I can stream it, is just a lot more difficult, so... We're excited for Ghost Trick after all the Ace Attorney games are over, which is a long time, but one day. Well, I can assume if you've played it, Amon, that you do have it. But yeah, I was struggling to just get, like, a Spirit of Justice. Oh my god, I was struggling so hard to get Spirit of Justice.
Yeah, that took forever to find.
Well, no, I never actually got it to work But thankfully, they were like, here's the second trilogy. And I was like, nice.
Like,
The universe,
good timing.
honestly, I feel that the universe was blessed, like blessed me in the second trilogy coming out, because it's been a few years, you know, it's been a while. When did the first trilogy come out? Like the teens still, late 20 teens, you know?
On Switch?
Trilogy release date. Wow, no, 2012. The trilogy came out in 2012.
Well, that's definitely not for Switch.
Well, it is on Switch too, but it came out on Switch later. But it existed starting in 2012. So it has been 12 years. It's gonna be 12 years.
It's been a hot minute
since the first trilogy came out to do the second one. So I just feel so incredibly blessed that we started playing Ace Attorney trilogy at the time that Capcom was like, ah, yes, you'll be just about ready to play the second trilogy as we release the remake of it. It was just like the skies opened up. Like they shown, I think Lakitu Bro was the one who put like the thing from the direct in the Discord, and I literally sat there like stunned that like this could be reality.
It's just like, oh my god,
is, like,
yes.
our life lined up in this manner. And it was just beautiful.
Well, Amon, I think Ghost Trick is actually getting a little bit of a cult following.
Well, it
like,
got a
seems
remake
to be growing in
because,
popularity, which is nice.
I mean, it got a remake, so
there's definitely an audience for
definitely
it.
An audience.
Which makes me very happy. I remember watching a Let's Play back in my high school days and just loving it so much.
And then people will get to watch our Let's Play eventually.
Yes.
I forced Mars. She's not allowed to play it
2 to 3
without
years.
us. Yeah, it's a while, but I'm happy to have a backlog, you know? I drew Ferrex's eyes wrong.
You just love that backlog everywhere you go.
You know, it makes me feel comfortable. You know, it's a little safety net that I know
it really is.
that the future is secured in this way. You know?
I feel
knowing
that.
how many videos I've edited or are very close to being done edited, how much comic is existing at any given time, you know, it's just a little like security blanket that I can feel, that I can just feel like, ah, yes, I know that it's all gonna work out. First Korean release of 4, 5, 6. Oh, so this will be your second trilogy official release. That's really nice.
Mm.
That'll be very cool.
Very fun.
The only thing that'll make me sad is if they then decide to actually make a remake of Investigations in English. Then I would be like, oh no, well, because we would have played it already, and so then I'd be like, no, that'll be
like
sad.
daily in the dollar store.
Yeah, exactly. But I at least have both of those ready to emulate, so it's not like, oh no, I can't find them. And I want to play it in chronological order, you know, how the game's chronological order exists. Because honestly, that's my favorite way to consume any media, if I'm being honest. Chronologically.
That's how you get the best story.
Indeed. Beautiful. His little nose. Ferrex has shaped how I draw animal noses for the rest of time. Honestly, any character I can, I'm like, yes! Give me the nose.
Ferrex has taught us so much about our individual crafts. We learn a lot from him.
I learn a lot from everything. I will say, if you want to get good at any sort of medium that you want to be
Make a
better
comment.
at. Being like anything serialized. Literally anything serialized.
Anything serialized that you have to be accountable.
You just have to keep
for.
going over and over and over again. It's just worth it.
Like, you'll get better.
Because
You will get better.
I got so much growth in the couple years from starting the comic to now than I did, in years and years before doing it. Oh my god. And it's just anything.
My writing is such a far cry from the first thing I've ever written.
Anything you have to do frequently, because the other thing is that I also around the same time made a account for drawing Dungeons and Dragons fantasy items, and oh my god, having to chug out 3 items a week, damn, rapid massive improvement, like nutso crazy wacko wild.
Boom! Explosion.
Yeah, it's really nuts how that works. And you have to want to improve, of course. Looking into things, looking reference and stuff, but doing it with any intention to get better. And I always say, draw. If you're not trying to make art your career, that's a different story. If you're just trying to do art for fun, drawing what you like is not a bad thing. I for many years did not draw feet of characters because I hated doing it. I didn't like doing it. I didn't have fun doing it. They're hard, man. Like, whew, they suck. Yeah. Really difficult.
You didn't have fun. It made the process horrible.
It made it not worth it. I just wanted to draw faces and other stuff. But then I made an OC that he had to be barefoot. It was very important. It is very important. He had to be barefoot. And so for that OC, I learned how to draw feet. Yeah. Consistency is hard, but you don't have to do it every day. You don't have to do it, all the time, but doing it doing it as often as you can is definitely the more often, the faster your growth is going to be. For many years I didn't really fill sketchbooks because I just wasn't drawing that often. But then after drawing like literally every day for a year, my growth exploded. I hated drawing backgrounds, but I've become much better. And that means the backgrounds in the comic are very inconsistent, but that's fine. That's a vibe, Nicole. It's really funny. For much of my artistic journey, I was solely a fan artist. I didn't make any OCs. I had never made an OC for years. For years and years and years of doing art. So I would say I started taking art rather seriously as a hobby in about 10th grade. My first OC was made in my second semester of college. That was a long time. That was a lot of fan art until then. And then I even after that, mostly drew fan art. I don't think that the shift to drawing original characters, and then D&D, I started playing Dungeons and Dragons. So that definitely pushed me towards character design a little more, but I still drew majority fan art in my sketchbook and stuff like that, and for like Inktober and other challenges like that. But definitely what fully pushed the nail over into, no, I definitely draw my OCs way more than fan content, and I have to make specific time to draw fan art, was the comic, without question. Now it's like, all I want to do is draw my own characters, my boys, my loves, my beauteous, precious. They're so great. Specific topics like herbs or literature. I definitely like doing tree stuff.
We had to incorporate some tree stuff into the comic to keep Ori happy.
Also, all the characters' names are named after their scientific animal names. So like Milano is a black caiman, and so the scientific genus of the black caiman is Melanosuchus, and that's how we got Milano. So, very fun there. I also name all my...
Not named after a cookie.
He's not named after a cookie, not at all. And that's
Biggest
with an I.
Misconception.
That's with an I. Milano.
I know, but I told my parents his name is Milano, and my dad went, "Why'd you name him after the cookie?" I was like, "We didn't."
Because it has nothing to do with it.
The two are not connected.
Yeah, that's a great way to start, though, Amon. Yeah, a lot of people were spelling it with an I originally.
Oh, drawing challenges, definitely.
Drawing challenges are... See, drawing challenges are those one things
because there's the accountability.
Well, yeah. I would always fall off the drawing challenges at the last week. I've only ever fully, completely finished one Inktober, and I've done multiple of them.
Keep it up.
And then I got pretty close. Yeah, I think it was Inktober 2018 I completed, or 2019. I can't remember exactly. But usually it ends around like 23. Day 23 is where I'm like, nah, this is the end. This is dead. I'm done. This is whoop, we outie. And then certain ones I did more like measurable. We actually made last year. We made our own monthly challenge called July Canthropy, which was really fun. But I again around day 20 something is when I died. It was like, no, that's the end. That was it. What other challenges have I tried to do? I did do Sword Timber, but I specifically limited to myself that it was like 2 a week. So I only did 6. 8 swords instead of trying to do 30 swords. Because, oh god, pain. So yeah, I think our challenges are good as long as you're not like stressed about them.
Yeah.
Because if they turn into a stressful experience, then that's not good.
And hold yourself accountable, but don't force yourself, because you're not gonna have fun that way.
Exactly.
It should be fun at the end of the day.
It should be fun at the end of the day. That's why to me the comic really helped me, because it's like, man, this is something that's exactly what I want to draw. This is exactly what I want to do. And it worked out. Versus like Inktober every year, I'd always have to find a bunch of prompts and do like a bunch of different lists to be like, oh yes, this is what I want to draw. Can we have a challenge again? We can do a challenge again someday. Unfortunately, this year just got kind of busy away from me. I don't even remember why exactly, but it was definitely like a whoo boy. I didn't do any challenges this year at all. I like looked into doing OC-tober briefly, and then I went, nah. I'm just gonna chill. I'm just gonna chill this year. But we can definitely... I did... So we did... We actually did do 2 challenges. So in the Discord, if I can move stuff... Oh, I can. Beautiful. Okay. So in the Discord, there's a section of the conservatory section called Themed Exhibits. And this has, brain. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. And my brain is dying because the sneeze is taking up all of the brain in my mind. There we go. And it had all of the challenges that I've either thought about doing or did partially participate in. So, these are all 2022 ones, except Art Fight. That was 2023. But these are different ones. So it's like Funguary in 2022. So I would post the prompt list that I was planning to follow, and then everyone can post their stuff. So again, I didn't complete this. I got to day 17, and then I stopped that one. Oh, this was 2023 Funguary. I did do some 2022 Funguary as well. Yeah, July Canthropy, this is the one we did. So yeah, this one was, I definitely made it in an easy way where we skipped every Sunday, and the first 3 days were kind of like, you didn't have to do them, but you skipped every Sunday. So yeah, where did I end? I ended about day 23. Look at that, somewhere around day 23. Something like that.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. Yeah, Sword Timber, different
good.
prompt lists and everything, so you can see the other people participating. But I also, and I plan to do this again, so less monthly ones, so you can see they have tags that are like month-long ones, and more like easier ones, I guess, in the sense of that it's not like an everyday thing. So this is the redraw challenge, which I will do again.
Something that's at your own pace would suit you very well.
In December, or actually, this came up in September. Oh no, this was from the thing. So yeah, so it's usually in December that I do it, where I redraw a character again, and so you can see this person, Bart Starter, did theirs, a couple different ones, so 2019, 2020, and then 2023, and man, look at that progress. It's just really nice to see your progress. You know, all of my chat noir who got consistently more cat-like over the years. Yeah, very cat-like. Very excited to see I'll draw him this time. But the big one that I have been doing is I specifically wanted to challenge myself to do a fan art every month, and while I originally had a list, that list changed, and I just kind of accepted that I would draw whatever I felt like drawing that month. But yeah, so it was specifically like, I challenged myself to make a fan art every month. That's where the links came from, because I don't draw a lot of fan art anymore, and so it was a nice challenge. That was like my New Year's resolution. Next New Year's resolution, because God, that's coming up soon, is going to be Genshin Impact boys, and I've already picked out 12 boys.
I'm so excited
12 favorite
for that
boys.
One. Because
I don't play the game. I honestly don't really follow the story very much.
I play the game for Ori.
Yeah, and Mars plays the game for Ori, and the internet makes content for Ori. So I do have ships. I do have some knowledge about characters. So I love Gartic Phone. Yeah, we can try and make like a shorter one. Essentially, what we did with July Canthropy was that we had each week had a theme. So you could do just one for the week theme. And then also it was only like a Monday through Saturday daily prompts. So Sunday was like a break day, because I know I am terrible. And all that sort of thing. There also, something that could be interesting is a month-long challenge that's to make one piece. Does that make sense? Where it's like, design it, sketch it. Like this week you should have it sketched, and this week you should have it lined, and this week you should have it color, I don't know, something like that.
That could be something. I think there's something there to work with.
I think 2021 Mars and I participated in some monthly things as well. We did March of the Comics.
We did March of the Comics. That was to help build hype for Outcast.
Yeah, so that had to be 2021, I think. Or 2022.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't remember. It's brain dead time and stream ending time. But we can definitely get another drawing challenge going at some point, but try to make it an easy one. Trying to make it like it holds you accountable, but it's not like drawing something every day, because the drawing something every day, what I find happens is that I want to make like something really good every day, right? Like I don't want to make just a sketch every day. So it's definitely like I want to make it good, and then you just spend a lot of time, and then it's just like pain. So that's why the monthly fan art is good for me, because I can spend like 2 days during that 1 month to do one thing instead of trying to do it over and over again. And that's why my Funguary was doing like little mushrooms, but honestly that still took way too long. Doing Space Compendium, color palette for Hypercolor Fantasy Robot. It's a big ball. Hypercolor Vaporwave does work very well. Ooh, yeah. I do like that. I made like a cyberpunk helmet that is, I guess it's kind of vaporwave. This was a commission that I actually really like, because I don't do a ton. Ooh, there's 2 actually sci-fi commissions that I actually think have really nice color palettes. Where is it? This is one of them. So this is like sunset with then like these really dark blue and purple going on. I do really like that one. But I also gorgeous. Do like this one. this one that's like purple and green and black. Very easy, very simple, but it still gives that very like sci-fi with the bright colors against the black. Very, very nice. So those are 2 options, 2 vibes you can go for. But I think
damn good.
With that, we're gonna wrap up here. Thank you all for hanging out. Yes, we have it changed to Drawing and Dragons again tomorrow, not Baldur's Gate. It's Drawing and Dragons. It's making items Jinka. What does that mean? That means you suggest D&D 5e items, and as long as they have art, and I will get to have 15 minutes in order to try and make that item a person, a character. and then usually
it's a
after
fun
we do
time,
a bunch
you guys.
of them, and you can also more time to talk about your D&D stuff, your other TTRPG stuff, your campaigns, your characters, your homebrew,
share what's
all that
happening
sort of
in
stuff.
your adventures. We always love hearing about that.
Indeed. And then, yeah, and then usually at the end we pick one of the ones that I did and we kind of flesh it out a little more, and they all go in the Discord. I think everybody joined the Discord, but if you didn't, join the Discord. Also follow, if I could spell Discord. So follow us on YouTube if you like Ace Attorney stuff. How many times have I drawn the apparatus of Qualish? I have, so this is the first time we're doing Gajinka items, but I did draw it once from memory. But you're welcome to suggest it tomorrow, Tradosio. If something has been suggested a lot for the same challenge, I'll usually be like, no, try again. But usually things have been suggested, but for different challenges, because we do a bunch of different challenges, like making monsters hot, making monsters Jinka, monster telephone, I don't know, other ones, making items
We
into
usually
monsters,
get good
monsters into
variety.
items, etc. There's lots of stuff. You can all see that in the Discord. But alright guys, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Good night!
See you tomorrow, guys.